look, we're here. Thanks to our guys at Bet Nation.
Bet Nation, of course.
The guest series, but
summer guest series.
We're missing the guest.
Casper.
There's been some issues in transport. The delays. Phone on silent. That would be great.
I do apologise.
But look, I think time is money. We should just crack on.
Yep. Yes.
And
no, as I live and breathe.
Hey, gentlemen,
there he is.
We're under the distinct
the greatness
that you were actually
sorry guys,
held up in transit.
Well, to be honest, I'm a bit of a showman, so I'll call this fashionably late.
Where were you, fella?
Just flight a little bit delayed, and I had to get my hair ready and stuff. So sorry, guys.
Mate, good to see you.
Yes.
Great to see you guys. Big fan of the podcast.
Oh, mate, you one of many.
Take a number. Exactly.
What's been going on?
Mate, plenty's been going on. It's been good over the last couple of weeks. Been on a few golf trips, catching up with friends. The rugby league's been great.
Yes.
The AFL's been good. So there's been plenty happening.
Did you shoot down to the gather round for the AFL over Adelaide?
No, too expensive for me. I'm not as much money as you guys, but I think it's great. I know rugby league up there. They've got their weekend up there.
This weekend?
No.
When May is it?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes,
You've been up there.
We probably should do something up there.
Yeah, magic round. Yeah, I've been known to disappear in magic round. Twice.
Thus the word magic.
Yeah.
No, that's good, mate. We're honoured because this is a big thing for us. We've had your man Duck on. We've had Fev.
Love Fev.
Kuda as well. But this is our first.
It is.
Not only rugby, but dual code international.
Oh, I've got it. I've got it here.
And
dual
do you want to read them out?
International.
Have you got his stats there from?
No, I don't. No. But thanks for doing that as well. I've got a little bit of nothing here, to be honest with you. I know. No, you know I don't.
We'll be here all day to read up all my stats.
Yeah, we don't need. Like the head's probably big enough already, isn't it? Eh?
I'll be honest. Every now and then I Google myself, like every day. No.
Mate, I thought we could just start and I guess getting to know you. You and I have probably been, a couple of years sort of.
Couple of years, yeah.
Couple of years probably too long, AB. Yes. But I just thought we could probably start from the start, mate. Growing up, Sarina.
Yeah.
They were born in Brisbane.
Which I just found out.
Yeah, and then grew up in Sarina. So it's a bit of a footy factory there, isn't it? Or...
Yeah, look, I think for me, very lucky. So my dad was Torres Strait Islander, and my mum was a South Sea Islander, which is Vanuatu. So,
beautiful.
Yeah.
Vanuatu.
So for me, grew up in Brisbane, was born in Brisbane at Royal Brisbane Hospital. But a little fun fact here, at 2 days old, I was given up for adoption to the next door neighbours. And so my adopted parents brought me up. So to this very day, I've never met my birth dad, which obviously through my career, my ups and downs, and then my birth mum, she's a bit of a troubled soul. Only got to meet her a couple of times, and then but for me, my parents who brought me up, I love them dearly. They took a punt on a little chocolate little baby, 2 days old, which they didn't have to do because they really couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
And and I think, as I said to you, Matt, we've been good mates for a while now. My birth mum, my adopted mum, she passed away through COVID, and then at home by herself. She had dementia and had 2 heart attacks. And then when I switched to rugby union in 2002, my dad, the only dad I've ever known, he died of a heart attack at 51. And that's the same age as I am now. And obviously, I'm looking healthy and fit. And even though I'm divorced, life goes on.
That makes it
unstoppable.
Just quickly, that sort of makes a good point about the King, Warney. Are we getting, and probably prevalent for both you boys and me, as the heart checks? And are you doing that? Is that something you think about more now after? I think after Warney and even the old man and that.
No, not for me. Not at the moment. I think if my time's up, my time's up. I should be thinking that way. I've got a lot of mates who have been through that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But at the moment, for me, I train pretty hard, and I try not to have too many big nights. So the last couple of years has been a bit tumultuous. But I think it's needed now, and I've got to be at the forefront of that and say, hey, boys, let's go get checked out. I've got mates who work in the mines, and obviously we got mates who work in high-risk jobs. So at 52 in July, so I think for me now, I'm going to be booking in to get my heart checked, amongst other things.
Yeah, beautiful.
Lately, I've had my head checked, and there's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
And I think the men's health, and in particular you as a role model in society, and sporting in particular, but also society, I think it's
never been more important.
Yeah,
and I think we're going to touch on that. We spoke about it earlier, but the Elijah Hollands situation and, just thinking about him and all the best. But we know that your battles with mental health and you've been such a big advocate for it.
Well, I think, look, that young man there, when I see him, I got a daughter who's his age of 23, and what I loved is the heartfelt message that his dad came out with. And I understand that I've been through, depression and a bit of mental health struggles myself, and it's probably because of my abandonment, and that's where it started. And then I think rugby league and sport and alcohol and partying covers that up, and yeah. Oh, sure, mate. Sorry, mate. Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Don't mind just please. Starting that kind of.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, go.
Yeah, I got it. Well, I suppose it brings up a good point, and a really important one about the Elijah Holland situation. And of course, we're thinking of him, mate, and we just needs to.
And I think we touched on it briefly before. That you don't have to make people scapegoats. You don't have to continually just every time you turn a page or you see some sort of a footage, they rerun it. And that's old news. That's stuff that doesn't need to be at the fore of everyone's mind. First and foremost needs to be his well-being and the health and making sure that he's getting the support and whatever else he needs happening straight away.
I think 100%. I think we all understand that when an athlete or someone goes through that, and we keep running those, those clips, and let's be honest, it wasn't great. And from his point of view, you could tell he wasn't well. And for me, as a dad, I've got 3 kids and I got a granddaughter as well.
Wow.
And for me, I teared up a little bit, to be honest, and not because I've been through that struggles. Like my depression that I went through was from being abandonment. But this young man is playing, Carlton playing high level, but then it's just the comments and rerunning it. And I think we as in media, and we all do podcasts, we need to be better. If that was your son or your daughter, how would you feel?
Yeah.
And I just think we talk about mental health, and like this weekend, Anzac round, and I just think that we all have to be better, because the world at the moment isn't a nice place, especially when I come to Melbourne. Man, you see all the break-ins and what's happening, and Melbourne's going through a lot, but we're all going through a lot, and I just think it costs nothing to be kind.
No, it doesn't. And the world's become very selfish.
Of course, yes.
There's that push now, and it just needs to happen, that men's mental health round. There's a round for absolutely everything else.
Everything else, yeah.
It just needs to happen.
And I think it's spot on. I
do. But can I just say this? It's not just men's. It's also women too. I've got a lot of female friends, and everyone knows my story the last couple of years. And I've been through a bit of ups and downs, and I'm getting through that, because I had a lot of people who know who I am. And Matt, we've hung out a few times, and I like watching your show. And I just think when people start reading the papers and they start commenting online, that can exacerbate the situation. So, mate, we all got to be better. And the thing too, I want to say to people out there, let's help the next generation of kids through, because they came through COVID. Melbourne copped it more than anybody, and I'm sorry. You wonder why some of your young people are going through stuff. My daughter came through it in grade 12, and my mum passed away. My manager died of cancer. Remember Tony Connolly, who managed Glenn Maxwell, Dave Warner? Well, he was my manager as well. He managed Willie Mason and all these guys. Yep. Within about 10 months, he died of, he got cancer, 9-10 months, didn't see it coming. So, I lost a lot. So when I go and talk to my psychologist and that, I'll be honest, I laugh and cry. Everyone thinks I'm a big bad meanie, like me and Wayne Carey, but we're probably 2 of the softest blokes you could get.
Agreed.
Well, we know that firsthand.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think we go back to growing up, and one we've asked all the boys that have come on is when did you know that you were that footy was going to be, this is it. I'm going to crack it. I'm going to be paying. As you are, you've walked in today. This is first grade, obviously. In terms of podcasts.
That's good. Great confidence.
Yeah.
Were you torn ever between your AFL and
No. To be honest,
not up there.
No. To be honest, no. AFL. I'm sorry. AFL was. See, I got a lot of cousins and uncles and that played. Like they're in Darwin, they're over in Perth. So all my family's all over Australia. Tiwi Islands. So mate, and I did love AFL, but rugby league I was just so good at it, because athletics was my number one sport. And rugby league, and I think I said to you guys off air before, I grew up with Kathy Freeman. So Kathy Freeman was
Mackay
next level.
Airport, is that right?
Yeah, Mackay Airport. When you go in,
and you turn left.
Now when you go to Mackay Airport, there's a picture of her, me, and there's also Jeff Hugel there as well. So we're all from Mackay. But But I just knew when I was about 15, 16 that I had something. I didn't know if I was going to be go the levels that I was, but I knew with my upbringing, my mum and dad, like, they were pretty strict. I grew up in church. My dad was a hard ass, but never used to hit me. Mum used to give me the strap and the spoon.
You probably deserve it.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I'm thinking, Paul, how many spoons did you go through?
Hey, this will shock you. I pushed the boundaries a few times.
No, I don't believe that.
No, note to self.
Yeah.
But it was a great area to grow up in, Mackay and Sarina. And I tell you who else was from up there. And I know, there was guys like Ben Barber, Cherry Evans, Reuben Cotter, all these guys, Martin Ballard, Dale Shearer. So Mackay was really known for its cane farming, cattle farming, mining, and then and the beaches and stuff. So it's unbelievable.
When did the Bronx first come into the picture?
So
is it fair to say that sport as a distraction, for want of a better term, was a good thing for you as a youth growing up as well? You know, because everyone's got to have some time to fill in some days
Well, it was good. I played a lot of cricket as well. So
you just let me know when you want to ask a question, because then I won't ask a question.
Yeah.
But your questions are shit.
This is like a married couple.
It's like it's like I didn't even exist then.
Yeah.
I said, when did the Bronx come into the? When did the Bronx? And then you go back to fucking when did sport?
Well, I reckon it was okay. Disregard what I say from now on. All right.
No. You go
and go and have some lunch.
No. You go. AB talking about upbringing.
Yeah, was it more of a lift off? Oh, you're just jumping around like a village idiot.
No, but we're excited. But as you said about that, as you said about sport, and that sport also was cricket too, because I played representative cricket at CQ opening bowler with
a bit of pace.
Yeah, so I bowled opening bowler and I batted about 8 or 9. So Andrew Simons, Jimmy Marr, Martin Love, Anthony Seabold, they all played Queensland cricket. I was Central Queensland. I missed Queensland country that year, but I played first grade when I was 16. So sport was my happy place, but I also wasn't too bad at school, even though I sat outside a lot for getting in trouble.
Teachers will beg you to. By the way, you shouldn't listen, because this was my question. Okay.
Yeah. Don't cut him off.
This is the charming thing. Like, so, if the teachers was talking, and there might have been 1 or 2 girls in the class that like, man, just trust me, I like them too. So I'd be like trying to charm them in class, and the teacher go, Mr. Sailor, what are you talking about? Oh, just talking about sport, miss. She goes, you know what? Just go to the principal's office, mate. You're not listening today. So I'd sit outside, and the principal would come and goes, here again, hey? What did you do this time? And he's laughing at me. The principal's laughing at me. So I got away with it. So I kept getting away with it. So I'd like to thank that Mr. Stone, his name was. But I love school. I love people. And funny thing people wouldn't realise, from grade 2 to grade 9, I actually got bullied a fair bit, more by the older kids, not by I always try to bring a bit of peace and love. And I've always been sort of, if someone went through stuff, I'd sort of be like the big brother.
The shoulder.
Yeah. And because I had a lot of cousins, a lot of my cousins and that were bigger than me. I'm small compared to a lot of my cousins, but there wasn't a lot of fighting in our family, even though we were one. But I love school. School was so good. You know what? Me and Gordon Tallis talk about this, because Gordon Tallis is from up Townsville, not up the road, and he played in the grade above me. We went to school for 3 reasons. Ready? Eat lunch, play sport, and talk to girls.
In no particular order.
In no particular order.
Yeah. Well, you're a socialist.
100%. Yeah.
Social butterflies. Socialist. We'll cut that one out.
No, we don't. We don't cut anything.
Yeah. And you know what? That's probably got me in trouble over the years as well.
You'll go.
You just mentioned that Roy. Yeah, that relationship was pretty special that you had with Roy, and you've still got that really close knit bond with his young fella, right?
Yeah.
And you want to talk on that relationship with Roy and
look, I think for me, the hardest thing, I suppose, over the last 5 or 6 years, and people don't understand, like, mate, my marriage fell apart 6, 7 years ago, and it was amicable. I love my ex-wife, and she's doing a great job. She's got a new partner, and I'm happy for her. I haven't met him yet, but how you going, buddy? But what I'll say is, Will Simons, he's 11. I go and watch his games, and as I said to you, sometimes, go cricket, and he goes, Dell, can you come watch me play footy? Yeah, mate. And then I get in the dressing rooms, and they're just kids, and they love it. But it's just, we hang out a bit, and he's great for me, because then he goes, hey, Dell, can I ask you a question? And he goes, he talks about his dad, and then he said, you know what? He said, you and my dad got along so well, and, how come you guys got along so well? You're so different. I said, the funny thing about me and your dad is, even though he was introverted, once he got on the field and once he got out then in the commentary box, like he knew the game better than anyone.
Yeah.
I suppose I'm extroverted, but people don't understand, like, once I'm around my friends, I like to bring it down a little bit and be introverted. But I got a lot of time for him, and then also he's got a daughter, Chloe. Chloe is, if you ever see Chloe Simons, she's a dead ringer for Andrew. And then Will said, because they play Oztag, they play everything like what we all used to do. They played everything, and I say, "Hey, Chloe, how you going?" And like my thing is my job is to be there for those guys as well.
Yeah.
Like Roy was for me when I went through my stuff through rugby league or rugby union. Roy unwavered, just walked straight through that door.
Yeah.
Didn't agree with everything I did, but we're brothers. So my job is to return that favour, and they always check in with me, and I love them for it, mate. They're great kids too, and mate, they're very well spoken. And I think the good thing no one else knows is Madge Maguire. Can I tell you Madge Maguire? And I know the hard thing about Gordon Tallis and Madge Maguire and that they think, but I rung Madge when he signed the Broncos, and Will goes to me, and not many people know this, and he goes, Dell, he goes, what are they thinking signing a New South Wales coach? And I said, Will, listen, I know we're Queenslanders, but we've got 3 or 4 New South Wales players at team, Payne Husker, Tony Staggs. So you know what I did? I rung Madge directly, and Madge and I didn't realise, Madge and I, over the years, we've been mates for a long time, and he's been a good coach, and Seabold him. I didn't realise I played against Madge in 93. He goes, I played against you in 93. You know what I said to Madge? I didn't play reserve grade, mate. So Madge has been there for Will. So Will went to the grand final. Madge got him tickets and that. So Madge has done a really good job. And I forever want to thank Madge Maguire for what he's done for the Simons family. So Will loves him, Chloe loves him, and Laura Simons loves him. And she's had a tough time too because her dad passed away of cancer 18 months ago. Yeah. So imagine that. She's an absolute weapon. But also I love hanging around Will. Me and Will, we get the best bond, mate. Yeah. I think he's mentoring me more than I'm mentoring him.
I think so.
I think we had this conversation earlier.
Yeah.
And which worries me if he's going to be your mentor.
Oh, yeah.
I take him under my wing, haven't I, Dell?
Yeah. Have a few times
One
in
of your
Melbourne,
big wing.
I think we'll get back on track. The Broncos, when did they come into the picture? And was Wayne, and we'll touch on Wayne and the impact he's had on your life.
Yeah.
When did they come into it?
So
were they the first team?
Yeah, no. So there was 5 or 6 teams. So when about 17, 18, and you know what it's like. You got those.
What year was that?
1992 they came in. So there was the Dragons, the Steelers, the Bulldogs, and the Gold Coast Seagulls. They're all interested, and they all knocked me back. So I knew I was going real shit when the Gold Coast Seagulls knocked me back.
I didn't even know the Gold Coast Seagulls were a big.
Just quietly, if I went to the Gold Coast at 18, let me tell you, I don't think I would have played too much footy. With the bright lights,
Seagulls.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So and then I was lucky enough to win the Confraternity Shield Player of the Year. I scored 2 tries. I was a right and left centre, and then with that came a week's training with the Broncos. So all those clubs knocked me back at the end of 92. And then they signed other people in and around from Mackay and Sarina, Brett Dallas, Kevin Campion, all these guys. Yeah. But anyway, 93 coming along, I had 1 week of training. This is a good story. I had 1 week of training with the Broncos. And I rocked up, and Wayne Bennett goes, I've seen you play. He goes,
how big were you, Dell, back then?
I was only 80, I was 86, 87 kilos. Yeah. I was like a 200-metre run, a 400-metre build. And I had a big afro.
Still 6'3"?
Yeah, 6'2.5" or something, 6'3". And you know what Gordon Tallis said? He goes, what about Dell? He goes, he spent 1 year at the Broncos. He found 20 kilos in the locker. he goes, when we used to play against Dell, he used to see him up there. We used to call him Microphone. He had the big gollywog hair, which Gordy's one of my very best mates. And I don't agree with everything Gordy says, but that's how it was back then. No one knew who each other was. Yeah. But everyone knew, oh mate, this bloke number 3. Yeah, above. Yeah. So this is the true story. So as we get there, I'm training my ass off that week because I don't want to go back home because the Broncos won the premiership in 92. And my mate's going, you're going to sign the Broncos? And I said, hopefully at the end of this. So the 21s, the reserve grade, first grade, we all trained together that week. I remember I was at Kedron, trained my ass off. And then at the end of the week, there was this 400-metre race. Anyway, and then Calvin Giles, who coached Daley Thompson and Linford Christie. Yeah, he goes, obviously, mate, unbelievable Pommy coach, Great Britain coach. He goes, oi, who are you? Sailor, country kid, come here. I said, yeah. He goes, get up here. So I'm with the big dogs. So they're all lined up. I'm sitting in behind them because, mate, if anything, I know to run. Like these are all seasoned first graders, but I know this is my forte. So as we shoot off, we go 100, 200, 250. As I pull out, I just go fucking bang. And, mate, I win the race. And Calvin Giles looks at me and goes, that's my fucking boy. That's my boy. So Wayne gets me in the next day. He comes in, we sit down, and he goes, well, mate, he goes, I told you what I thought of you, mate. He goes, senior player for North Queensland. He goes, you're talented, you're a bit lazy, and you like yourself a bit too much.
Still present to say or not?
How do you like me now?
Yeah, you picked it. Yeah, no, but then he goes, I'll tell you what's going to happen. And this is, for me, no one understands how it starts. It's not just everyone gets a 2-3 year contract like they do now, 1 year deal worth 40 grand or grade 12. He goes, you know what we're going to do? He goes, I'm going to give you, he goes, I've got a $5,000 contract for you. You're going to stay with the family. He goes, you're going to study. Are we going to get a job?
Oh, great.
And he said, if you go all right, I'll resign you. If not, you can go back home to Sarina, mate. And he goes, go out there and call your mum. I call my mum, 566 12, and I said, Mum, Wayne Bennett, he's going to sign me for a year. And then Mum started crying.
Oh.
See, no one sees her.
Yeah.
She's probably going, thank God someone's taking him off my hands. No.
It was happiness, wasn't it?
But
It was tears of joy.
But can I tell you, I had 2 days to go home, pack my stuff. But can I tell you, I didn't know what I was in for. When I came back, it doesn't just happen. Like, mate, the Broncos set a standard. Like, Wayne, my daughter doesn't understand. They put you with a family, mate. I'm walking to the train station, which could be 50 minutes to train.
Yeah.
Then I'd go to TAFE, study justice, because I wanted to be a copper. Would have been the worst copper in the world. But because I wanted to make a change because of...
You reckon you would have been easily bribed as a copper or what?
100%, yeah. I think it would have been in front of, what is it, the ICAC or whatever? I think it would have been, no. But back then, don't forget, I didn't drink or anything. I didn't start drinking or anything until 21. It all comes with the culture of it. And there wasn't that education back there. And that's the honest truth. Anyway, and then... that
knowing your upbringing doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, and that's my dad wasn't a big drinker, obviously a hard ass, and then my mum, I just want to make them proud. And also, when you're adopted, now that I'm older now, and I understand, like...
Can I just quickly, how old were you when you knew that you were adopted?
13 or 14, and then, 13 or 14, and my birth mum, she used to come and visit us, and my mum used to tell her that was my auntie.
Yeah.
And I never knew, and then when I got 15, 16,
Did it hit you?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
And then 15, 16, I just go, why did you give me away? What was wrong with me? And that's the problem too.
Yep.
You talk about people having
First question.
Yeah, that's
ask,
and then and that's good that we asked the question because I've never really spoken about that before. And I just think for me, there's so many places you can talk about that. And I think now that I'm 51, it's funny, I'm 51, I'm ready. I've conquered everything in the world.
Yes.
Gone through some bad stuff. Been locked up once or twice. But
alleged.
Allegation.
But still, never a guilty plea because people understand if you know the full story of people, and you always put up your hand. Mum and Dad always taught me you tell the truth, and
Well, like we've been out a few times, and we keep diverting off the footy and that. But before we do, like we've been out a few times,
I just asked a question,
and this is it goes to when you go out and that.
Yeah.
And you see what everything would just see from the media and, Wendell Sailor this and Wendell Sailor that. But I've been out with you. It's the antagonisers. Down here when we go out, it's chillers.
There's no problems. Yeah, that's
But
cool.
it's just when you go and there's those one or two, it's not everyone by any mean of the imagination, but it's like when you go out and everyone tries to flog you.
but you know who that's the same as, and I'll say this to you. I don't mind saying this. Wayne Carey's been a good mate of mine for a long time. And can I say, him and I get targeted more than anyone. But can I say this? If there's no cameras around, we're the last two you want to pick because his brother Richard can fight. My dads are boxers. My uncles were boxers. But there's no use in fighting. Mate, Duck's got 4 or 5 kids. I've got 3 kids. Mate, we're too old to fight. And that's when blokes try and fight on an antagonist. And I actually laugh at them. I go, you don't want this. And to be fair, even the police officers, a lot of the police officers are doing a good job. I think there's a lot of young police officers now.
They want to try and make a name.
Yeah, they do. But sometimes you just got to walk away, which I've learned to do. Yeah. But sometimes you don't walk away and you get an argument. That's when you get in trouble. And I've been out with Duck many times. Duck and I have never been in trouble together. We've been out at least 6 or 8 times.
You reckon you'll catch it? I just had a missed call from the great man on the way here. Do you reckon you'll?
You've got to pick your battles in life, don't you? Really, but ultimately, you're never going to win the war.
No,
so
that's
the
right.
thing.
But I will always have time for Wayne Carey because can I tell you, other than him being one of my favourite players, every time I've done a function, and I want to tell you one of the best sledges that he's given me in and around. Like we did a corporate function at Good Bloke Society. Anyway, and these two girls in Sydney, and they're like two good friends of mine. One works at the ASX, and the other one works in, she's got her own company and that. And she goes, and Duck was swanning around. He's looking great for his age and that too. And he's peacocking. Anyway, so he's standing over there. I'm there, and one of the girls goes, "Hey, that Wayne Carey, who's that Wayne Carey?" Like this, because they're from Queensland and Sydney. And this is what I said, and I'll be honest. I might have been putting my own ties up here. I go, do you know what I am in rugby league and rugby union? And then he turns around and he goes, just that next level above. And that's why I love him. And to be honest, he's a machine. Because I remember one time I said to him, I said, Duck, if I marked you, I said, I was trying to pump up because he's a fit-looking specimen.
Oh, yeah, ridiculous.
And
still now.
I said, how would you stop me? And he goes, I don't know, just run you around. Because being that size, he's a genetic freak, mate.
Yeah, he is. He really is. And his brother, as you say, his brother.
Oh, Richard. Mate, Richard scares me, mate. I'm not scared of anyone, but like
a monster.
Yeah.
Similar upbringings. That's probably why you're so compatible.
Well,
country boys.
Yeah, country boys. Obviously, look, to be honest, I know the story, and when people. And that's just the thing why I love Duck too. When my mum passed away, and I did 2 weeks in 2 weeks. I mean, you guys did lockdown by then anyway, mate. He was one of the first blokes to call me to check in on me, and knowing how close I am to his mum because he was close to his mum. And people don't understand. When we went to Adelaide, I didn't realise that his mum and the boys they had to live in a shelter.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. People don't know that, so don't judge. People want to see all the negative stuff, and he does so much good stuff. I've been to the races with him. It's just. And he's been great with my ex-wife. He's been great. She goes, mate, Wayne, he's a very charming guy, isn't he? I said, yeah, but, I trust Duck with anyone.
Yeah. No, he's one of the greats, isn't he? Like, and he's got as much time for AB and I.
It's all clickbait.
100% it is, yeah.
It is. And people love it. They thrive on it. They troll on it. That's unfortunately, that's the demise of our society at the moment.
But we know that.
Kicking the shit out of somebody.
But we know that. But you know what I worry about? I don't worry about us or the high profiles. I worry about our kids now, the bullying. That's what I want to change that for the next generation. You got kids?
Yeah, I do. One boy, yeah.
How old?
He's 34.
That's right, yeah. Geez, you look young, mate.
He's older than me. So kids?
No, well, there's probably a couple out there. We'll move on. We're getting a bit sidetracked here, boys. Let's just get back on the straight and narrow. I don't know what you're about to say. So
I reckon I've got some overseas somewhere too.
The dynasty. So you're at the Broncos.
Yeah.
You've just
Dynasty?
Yeah. Yep.
When they won the premierships.
Yeah.
Dynasty?
Yeah.
Dynasty, whatever. It depends where you're from.
That's right. Doesn't matter.
In Leeton, it's dynasty.
Yeah.
Is that where you're from?
No.
Oh.
Perish the thought.
Oh, you are a Leeton boy, yeah, actually.
Right.
I'll tell you a story later at lunch.
I'll tell you a story. Over lunch, I'll tell you a story about a gap year.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Bunker in.
I like this podcast, mate.
No, so when you got there, what was the culture like? Was it how far ahead when you got there before you went on that run?
Okay. So
do you still keep in touch with the family that you stayed with over your initial period?
No, because no. But that's good. That's a good question. But no,
I only did it to piss him off.
Yeah.
You're a fuckwit.
No. But okay.
Let's digress.
No. So I was very lucky because remember they won 92 premiership and 93 came in. So I got to meet Tina Turner. And
we spoke about that.
Yeah, I know. I saw it. I played in the first two games, and Steve Renouf came back. Steve Renouf went home after the finals, and his cousin King hit him and broke his jaw.
Oh.
But then Steve Renouf came back 3 weeks later. So I get a call. Wayne goes, I need you training half an hour early. And I said, what do you mean? So I go half an hour early. He goes, mate, because I hadn't hit the papers yet. He goes, you're up. I said, what do you mean? He goes, Pearl's got a broken jaw. He goes, you're up. You've earned that right. I played like 3 first grade games that year. Yeah. And I'm like 19. And all I kept thinking about is, we'd won the 92 grand final. The pressure's on me. So this is pressure you want. And so this is true. I'm not
defining.
Yeah, I'm not trying to give myself a rap here. And mate, it worked out well. The first game we played was against Manly, and I scored a try on the right-hand corner. Kelly Walder's outside in pass, bang. I scored try, and then I got the confidence from there, and we won that game. Manly, see you later. We came from 5th that year. See you later. And then play against Canberra. I was in Nolan Andrew. Went bang, scored a 50-minute try, and I'm going, how good's this? How good's this? And then Wayne calls me, and Wayne goes, hey, listen. He goes, you've done a good job, but Steve's going to come back. He's got his spot back. I promised him if he got himself right, he was going to come back and ready. Steve ran off. I said, no problems, Wayne, because I was just happy to get 2 games in the final. I go, ready for this? This is why Wayne's so good. Bring Steve Renouf back. Trusted Steve Renouf. Steve Renouf, two passes. He scores the first try against the Bulldogs, and then they win it, and then we're holding the trophy around. Yeah, we're holding the trophy. And it was unbelievable. We're holding the trophy. And, mate, in it, it's funny. All you'll see is me just like standing around, and I'm just looking to see if any of my mates are in the crowd. But I'm going, and then all I kept thinking was, I'm 19 and single, no girlfriend. Want to go out? And I got a premiership medallion because I was in the 21.
Yeah,
I got a premiership medallion. So that was.
You've usually got your rings on.
Yeah, but I try not to wear them out.
So that's just showing off.
Yeah. But
it's very subtle.
No.
I remember the first time I met you when you came down for that ad we did.
Yeah, I know, because you know why? Because we were doing.
I tried them on.
Yeah, I think I was doing a fair bit of because we're doing the Kia ad and all that sort of stuff at the time. So I was showing off a bit, and I think my divorce was through then, so I was pretty happy. Yeah. So that was the start of it. So 93, and I thought, how good's this? And then next year was 94 tour. Mate, we got knocked out by North Sydney or someone. At 95, we got knocked out again, then knocked out again. And then we went on that run, 97, 98, 99, we got in the finals, and 2000. So 3 grand finals virtually. So I was part of 4, only playing 3. I'd never claim 4, because unless you play that 17, you can't claim that. So people say full-time premiership player. Yeah, it is. But it was the best. And that's why I made the decision that was the right time to leave after that.
Well, that makes it good. That moving to, I'll go. Oh, unless you've got one.
I only just really wanted to quickly segue in by saying what year or how old were you where you actually felt like you really fitted in with the system and what they were going to do, and your maturity and the body that you had and the build and all those sorts of things?
That's a good question, because
really good question, mate.
It was, because in 94 I was very lucky. My second year I went on a kangaroo tour, and I was still that skinny little sort of islander from up in North Queensland. Because I was so athletic, but and even though I was strong for my age, not until 97 did I feel like I could just dominate people, like throw people around and take people on. I think it took me, it took me 4 or 5 years to actually grow
into your body, and this is
and your mind too,
above shoulder.
Yeah. So even in some of those games between then, like I might have scored 2 tries, but then I'd drop 2 balls and jam and miss 2 tackles. And Alan Langer, this is Alan Langer, like the littlest bloke on the field, he'd look at me, he'd go. Stay on your fucking wing, stay on your wing.
You've played with some legends,
mate, I have.
Just the
names.
names.
It was the golden era, wasn't it?
Yeah, but even that Australian team, this is, you look at, ready? Laurie Daly, Mel Meninga, Ricky Stewart, Bradley Clyde, Andrew Eddinghausen.
Stupid, isn't it?
Yeah, and then me and you love a funny story. Myself and Steve Menzies. I was like 20, he was 21. We bought those little Kodak cameras and having photos with our heroes on the 94 tour.
Wow. And have you still got, were they floating around somewhere, those pictures?
That'd probably been my storage share with all my other stuff after my divorce. But you know what, it was fun. Me and Beaver, we go, hey, do you reckon we should go and ask Ricky for a photo now? You go and ask him. Yeah. So I'll be pushing Steve Menzies up there. And look at Steve Menzies, mate, one of my very good mates, an absolute legend. He's just evolved. But those tours too, they were 10 weeks. Imagine 10-week tours.
With these lads, yeah.
I know. Oh, mate. And Forex were our sponsor. I wasn't drinking. I didn't drink.
I was going to say.
No. But I met a lot of ladies on that tour. That's all I'm saying.
That didn't drink also.
That's very good. And then mentioned you got to that run.
Yep.
I don't think I don't know. I was looking into it. What made you? Did someone reach out from Rugby Australia?
Yeah.
Because that was it. Because were you the first one to do that?
No. Andrew Walker was before me, and there was a few that came across. But the reason why I left was I thought in 9 years of rugby league, I think I'd accomplished everything. And the Broncos had 2 guys called Justin Hodges and Lottie Dakiri coming through. So I just thought, for me, you know what, to look after mum and dad, but also I wanted to play South Africa in South Africa. Yeah. I wanted to play France in France. I wanted to play in a World Cup like with Ireland and Scotland and this. So for me, All Blacks have been in the 90s. Me and my dad used to watch the All Blacks, and my dad, real humble guy, didn't say too much. We used to watch boxing, rugby league, and we used to watch rugby union. And I love guys like Frank Bunce, Walter Little, John Kerwin, Sean Fitzpatrick. And for me, when I was sitting there watching Jonah Lomu, mate,
what a beast.
Yeah, people, mate.
What a beast.
Yeah, people go, mate, look how big you are. I said, mate, I'm 6'2" on a bed, or just under 6'3". Jonah was 6'4", 6'5", and just he made me look small. And look at the way he ran, mate.
Yeah.
He changed the game. He was the king of the wing. Everyone goes, oh, mate, you're one of the best that ever played the game. I was good in union. I wasn't like him. And in rugby league, I was one of the best. I got no doubt I was. But at the same time, mate, it's an art form that the reason why we're the best, we work so hard on that game.
Yeah.
Jonah,
Yeah.
did you play against him?
No, I didn't. I was supposed to play against him. Wellington Hurricanes played against the Queensland Reds, and the Queensland Reds in 2002, we had a pretty good side. And Ben Choon, who was an absolute gun, Ben Choon, as we're about to go out, he goes, remember, I'm playing on Jonah. Ben Choon wanted the smoke. And Ben Choon, can I just say this? Ben Choon was hard. You know, when you look at AFL and that, you look at those real hard nuts and you want those tough. Ben Choon, when I just went, mate, I felt that since I was new to rugby, that he'd earned the right. And Ben Choon was one of the greats. When you're picking the greatest wingers of all time in rugby union, mate, Ben Choon's always there, and no one gives him enough credit. But I enjoyed playing against Ben Choon. He's a bit like me. He's a bit like left to centre, mate. He's great.
And the Jonah Lomu, the footage. Remember when he sort of stepped over about 3 or 4, and
the pommy players, Mike Cat and all that.
They almost bounced off. He just was like, "Nah, you're not stopping me." Yeah.
But also what we don't understand about him too. Also, like I did heaps of promos with him too. Like he wanted to box me, fight for life, because we got paid to do it. But also, and I said, I'm not fighting him because if he had that dialysis, and then I said, if I punch him in the kidneys and that, like, we all like having the boxing matches, like, Duck can box and a few of the boys can box, but that's...
Well, you had a certain... I was doing the research, as you do pre-pod. You get in there and you do the research.
We haven't slept for about 4 days.
And you might have gotten the ring with Warwick Capper.
Yeah, I did.
I've got that.
Tell us more about that.
The Wiz.
Fighting the Wiz in the ring, and how did that come about?
Okay, well, so no, it was an easy one to do because I didn't want to do it, but the Wiz was up and about.
A good bit of cash as well, I'd imagine. Eh?
No, we went through the books, mate. Went through the books, obviously.
It's not all about the money, all right?
Yeah, no. He's looking at the cash.
I know, yeah. Leighton Rice Fields.
But you're probably right. So my management at the time, he goes, mate, don't want to fight Warwick Cap. I said, mate, if I fight Warwick, I said, I'll hurt him, mate. I said,
he's got one of those punchable heads.
But I don't mind Warwick because he's different, mate. Yeah. I know I'm left to center a little bit. He's just different. And he goes, he's keen to fight you. Because you know what it was? We were both doing column in Zoo magazine. What a very prestigious magazine. Because
that's first grade.
I know, because that's what I came back to in my suspension when after my drink got spiked at King's Cross one time. And
well, we won't worry about that. But suffice to say that that's still an open-ended conversation or an investigation. One of the two.
That happens though.
Yeah, no, it happens. Anyway, cut long story short. And then I just said, they said there's only going to be 3 2-minute rounds. And then, they came in with a contract and that and said, Zoo want you guys to do it. And I said, okay, I'll do it for Zoo. Anyway, so first round, I'm not going to go hard because I'm a little bit younger than him and I've been a couple of years retired, but he's coming all pumped up. And then I said to myself, the bloke that was in my corner, a good mate of mine, Justin Harrison, he was there. Justin Harrison came back from France. He's involved in Australian rugby now. And he sort of said to me, he goes, mate, if he knocks you out, mate, you'll get no credibility. So then after first
knocked out by the Wiz.
Yeah, I know. So imagine me on YouTube just so then I started going a bit harder, and then round 2 he just sort of quit. He goes, no more. But he started going hard. I mean, that's amazing. Because in those boxing things, sometimes you brawl, but if you pick your shots and that. Anyway, but then we had a drink afterwards. And mate, and to be honest, he was a nice guy, but easiest bit of money I made.
He's a different cat.
We're all a bit different.
Yeah. That's what makes the world the world.
Yeah. But also, that wasn't the hardest fight. I've had a couple of fights.
I was going to say, what other ones you had?
I fought Liam Messam, and this is a true story. You know how we love the Melbourne Cup?
Yeah.
So I was in the birdcage, and I did Derby Day, birdcage. And I was fighting a guy who was an All Black, Troy Flavel. He's a southpaw. And they said, my trainer rings up. He goes, mate, we got a problem. I said, what? He goes, mate, over in New Zealand, Troy Flavel's been injured. He's not going to fight. And I said, okay. I said, there's a fight flying through because I was ready just to just launch then, because I was was drinking within myself when I was that was a lie. But anyway, and then he goes, because I had a fight like in 10 days. Anyway, and then he goes, the New Zealand promoter goes, mate, but we got a backup fighter for you. And I said, oh, who? Liam Messam. Mate, Liam Messam was 26 playing for the All Blacks. I'm 38, turning 39. Him and Sonny Bill were training to like rocky music and they're bouncing. And you know what I said? I said, okay, I'll take the fight. Because I'm not hiding at nothing. I know he's not going to knock me out, mate. Like it's like knocking a big silverback out, knocking me out, you know. So in a good way, because of my strength. That's what the boys said. You know, the boys go, look how strong you are. So I just thought, you know what, I'll take the fight. We had a good fight, and you know what? I'm glad I took that fight. We went 3 rounds. Oh man, and we went blow to blow. And I took off my headgear because it gets really hot under there.
Yeah.
Like, and I took it off, and then one time there, he came into me and it came like real tight, and I just go, try and knock me out. And then he tried to go harder, and I was trying to get him tight because I was tired. You know what I kept thinking? I shouldn't have that bottle of verve. I shouldn't have that bottle of verve. I shouldn't have drunk with Jen Hawkins and my wife for that there. Because that was, the birdcage was like, 7 days or 7 days before. Yeah. And then all of a sudden I'm in New Zealand fighting in front of 5,000 people. And once again, I'm thinking, Laurie Daly said, whatever you do, don't get knocked out, mate, because it'll be all over, you know.
But it'll be on the internet forever, that
and that's the last time I did it because I don't need to fight now. Like I ticked off that box. That's the last time I've thrown a punch. And in all honesty, whatever people see when people read and people know me, I've copped a lot of punches, but I've never thrown a punch since then because one thing to throw a punch to, you know, I'll just say this to you. Let me digress because, you know, there's a lot
we digress a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.